Chelsea obviously spent huge amounts of money, complete mess. If they get Pochettino or another manager who can manage that squad, can any of you see them making a title challenge next season, Paul?
No, not at all. Pochettino's just, I get it because he's a good manager, and if Chelsea weren't a London-based club and also one that had actually liked football managers, I think he'd have a good time there because he's capable of taking what they've got and making more of it. But he's another guy. It's a bit like they've done this before and they'll do it again. It's like they'll fall out with him because if he has a sticky run of results, all of a sudden all those jibes and all the barbs that they sent your way about how little trophies he won and blah 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 will all just come back, and that'll be eating away at them from day one. The second they lose a couple of games, so I think Chelsea can come back. I think they can come back really strong because look, there's got to be 22 good players in all of what they've got there. You know what I mean? They definitely need to shed a bit. Like, underneath that, you get to the gym, do a weight cut. Underneath there's a six-pack waiting to come out. But at the moment, it feels it's all very flabby, isn't it? At Chelsea at the moment,
it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Yeah, and I can relate as a middle-aged man. I can relate to that.
Same.
But they're going to go one of two ways, I think. I think that club's absolutely going to implode, worse than it's done this season, and find itself in documentary territory of how badly run it's been, or they'll just go back to being a top four side with the right manager. I don't think it's Pop.
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Good morning, how are we all doing? Good to see people in here. We've got in today, man. We've got Onish, Kate, Anthony, Reset, Harry, Raphael, Captain Harris, Turkey Ramen, Cade, I Love MCFC, Vito, James Perry, Slicky. Welcome in, guys. Hopefully you're all having a good morning. Weather's looking good. We should all be feeling mega today, so hopefully you guys are feeling good today, innit? We're going to be speaking about Ilkay Gundogan today. Are Manchester City making a huge mistake? Before we do, big up to today's sponsor, the guys at Bet Victor. They've got their own YouTube channel where they put their own content out every week, talking about loads of different stuff. And this one, obviously, they're speaking about Chelsea. Obviously, heavy rumours linking Poch to Chelsea. There's no really other rumours going there. That's what they were obviously speaking about there. I think it'll be a fascinating appointment. It really will, because I remember when I was on the Big Six speaking about this with Matisse, and I don't know if he's the right for me. I don't know if he's the right person because I kind of think that they need someone who's going to go in there and just be like, boom, it's my way or the highway. But then I don't know if that will actually work with Todd Bowley. So maybe Poch is the right appointment. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe then wasn't like Graham Potter like the yes man kind of thing. So maybe they do need someone with a bit more, more stern. So
that's why I think it's going to be really interesting. Like,
I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. Like, obviously we've seen him at PSG, seen him at Spurs, but both times didn't really go too well. I'll have to say how it works out. There's a lot of players there, like a shit ton of players. And it'd be interesting to see how he handles them. Obviously, he was at PSG, and obviously they had big names there. So obviously he's done it, but obviously he got sacked from there. So I'll have to see, man. But I'm looking forward to it. It's an interesting choice, and it just goes to prove that the Premier League is the best league, man. All these managers that we've got in this league is crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you want to go watch the full video, guys, you can do. Hit the link in the description or the pinned comment. When you go over there, let them know in the comment section below that City Xtra sent you. You know what I mean? Give them your thoughts. Make sure you like their stream. Subscribe to their channel, of course. Make sure you like this stream as well. But this morning, we're speaking about Ilkay Gundogan again. We spoke about him quite a lot, but there's a lot of news now coming out, and it's kind of come out what we kind of thought, but we've not got confirmation. That basically, and this is coming from apparently, I think Sam Lee's actually said this. For what one of the aggregators has said it. It wasn't City Xtra that put it out; it was a different aggregator. But Ilkay Gundogan apparently wants to stay at Manchester City, but he wants that 2-year contract, and City are not giving him that 2-year contract. At the moment, they're only giving him a 1-year deal, and that's why he's now favouring Barcelona. So I believe that Manchester City are making a huge mistake here. I believe that if you wanted a 3-year contract and City were like, don't really want to give you a 3-year contract, I could understand it a little bit more because it's a 3-year contract. But he only wants a 2-year contract. He's only 32 going on 33 in October. So it's not like he's pure old. I think City are making a mistake here, man. I understand maybe why they want to do that, why they're in that situation of he's 32, we don't really want to give him a 2-year deal, but look at the performances he's putting in. And I would just add, to this, that he's not going to drop off a cliff next season because he was never blessed with pace anyway. And even if he does slightly drop off with pace, we're going to be signing another midfielder this summer, maybe even 2. So even if he does drop off, you can still bring in other players. I personally think City are making a mistake here. I'm not entirely sure why they're not offering him a 2-year deal. I think they should get the papers out, man, and give him a 2-year contract. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I think it's really weird. It makes me think that there must be something else in there. Maybe we're offering a 2-year and he wants a 3-year. Like maybe there's something else, man.
But that's not what one of the aggregators said, though. One of the aggregators said that he wants a 2-year and City are offering him a 1-year. Yeah,
it's just weird, though, isn't it? Like, why wouldn't they just offer him a 2-year deal? Like, he's a game changer. Pep clearly still wants him. He plays week in, week out for us. It's important to the way the system is. I get it. Like, he's getting on like now. But, like you say, is he 31, 32?
32. So
he's 32 years old. Like, but he might be 32 years old, but he's still doing it. He's still doing it for City. He's still slamming. So why not? Why not keep him? Why not offer him a 2-year deal? Why not offer him a 3-year deal, whatever it is? Like, I'd be happy to say, like, oh, yeah, I'd give him the 2-year deal like that, bro. Well, look at what he's doing. Look what he did yesterday. Look at week in, week out, bro. His performance against Leeds. Obviously, I know the penalty thing was a mess. But pre that was an incredible performance from him. Like, he's still so important to his football club. And I've said this from the start that when we get someone else in, there's no one better to have than Gundogan, who knows that role inside and out, to help the new person get used to it.
I'd also say that until we decide what's going to happen with CDM, we need him in the team because Calvin Phillips at the moment, is he staying? Is he going? If he stays, is it just going to be the same next year as it was this year, in which Pep Guardiola doesn't trust him? The only other player that I trust in that team right now to play 6, play the Rodri role, is Gundogan. No one else. No one else on their own as a lone 6. So until we decide what's going on with Rodri's sort of backup player, you got to keep him because if I don't know what's going to happen with Calvin Phillips. He's going to be sold. He's going to stay. Like I say, even if he stays, what is there to say that he'll be any better next year, or that he'll not any better because he's not really had the chance to play? What will there be any evidence to suggest that Pep Guardiola will play him more next season? There is none. So for me, I'm looking at the situation. I'm going, okay, right now we probably need another midfielder because I do think we're weak in that area. Whether that's Perone is sort of he's actually going to play next year, or whether it's actually going to be a proper player like a Maddison or a Kovacic, I don't know. But I don't think Kovacic can play lone six. I've seen a few people in the chat say, "No, he can play lone six." I don't think he can. I don't think Kovacic is good enough to play that role. That role is a very technical role, and I don't think he can play it. Whenever I've seen Kovacic play, he's usually playing in sort of just a standard midfield position. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near as good as Gundogan in that sixth position. So for me, I'm looking at this going, okay, right now, if you keep, because I think genuinely we're going to keep Bernardo Silva unless PSG come into him, right? Which may happen. If PSG don't come in for him, he's probably going to end up staying at Manchester City. So if you keep Gundogan, you probably only need, for me, one player, right? If you get rid of Calvin Phillips, you're going to need two. You're going to need two players. So for me, Gundogan just solves a problem and it just puts us in a strong position. And I just don't understand why City are only offering him a 1 year contract. If they're offering him a 1 year contract, clearly they believe he's going to be good enough to play next year. Because if they didn't, if they thought, you know what, nah, you've passed it now, they just wouldn't offer him a contract. They're not offering him a 1 year deal out of sentiment. Our club doesn't move like that. So our club is offering him a 1 year deal because they must believe that Ilkay Gundogan has something to offer this team next year, which is obviously correct. Look at how he's playing. But if he wants a 2 year contract, just give him the 2 year contract. You can sit him down and say, okay, you want a 2 year contract? We'll give you a 2 year contract. But I'm telling you, Ilkay Gundogan, that in the year 2024, 2025, which is the second year of the deal, like you'll be 34, pretty much going on 35, because you'll be 35 in the October. You know, there is a chance that, you know, you'll be 35 years old. You might not be able to compete fully at this level. So we'll give you the 2 year contract, but just FYI, don't cry at us if you've dropped off and you're not able to compete at the top level. And I'm pretty sure Gundogan will back himself not to do that. And if he accepts the deal, buzzing. But I just don't see why the club is just offered him a 1 year deal. It just makes no sense. Look at the performances he's putting in. He's putting in performances that are some of the best out of our whole team. You've got Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Stones, Diaz. Yeah, Gundogan's right up there. Do you know what I mean? He's winning us matches. Look at his record. It's fantastic.
He's a game changer. Yeah, so he is a game changer. It doesn't make sense to me, this whole thing. It doesn't make sense, but which leads me to believe that there is something else. Just fragmented that. AJ with a 110 said Gundo somehow gives me Modric vibes in terms of playing style that is well suited for longevity. What he does usually goes under the radar. That is very, very true. He knows the system well and helps it like just tick. There's a lot of things that people don't really see too much. Benno with a 5 says Sky Sports News is saying that Arsenal did well to chase City down. Can someone explain to me who has been top for 250 plus days? Who chased who down, for fuck's sake? The bias is unreal. That because they'll spin that story now, because now that it's like this, guess who's back ruining the league? Look, guess who's turning it into a farmers league again? Do you know what I mean? That's what happens. As soon as we're top, they don't like it, and they don't like it. So they do.
L mentality. That's what it is.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. They did not chase us down at all. And you know what it is? You speak to any Arsenal fan now, and they'll say, "Oh, but realistically, though, we didn't think we were going to win a league. How could we compete with a team like yours with all the money you got?" That is what they'll say. They'll say that no matter what you say to them. So that's the way it is. And Fahad with 729 said, "How City can beat Barca's offer if there is any?"
Well, we can beat the offer, bro, by giving him a 2 year contract. Yeah, the news that's coming out, I'm not entirely sure how good it is, but it's one of the aggregators has tweeted. I can't actually fucking find it. I should have bookmarked the tweet, but what they said is that Sam Lee is basically saying that that Gundogan wants a 2 year deal and he's happy to stay at Manchester City, but he wants a 2 year contract. So we're not giving him that. We're giving him a 1 year deal. So the question mark is, as City, like I say, if City are giving him a 1 year contract, why are they not just giving him a 2 year contract, which is what he wants? And like I say, you can put it in the contract. You can even say to him when he signs it, look, you know, you sign a 2 year contract, no problem. We're happy to have you around. He's not just going to fall off the cliff. In 2 years' time, I doubt anyone's going to be sat there going, he's fucking shit. He can't play. He's ass. I mean, he might not be able to play the big, maybe in the big games against Liverpool where the games open up, maybe he won't be able to play in that. He'll be lacking a bit of energy. You're not telling me in 2 years' time he can't be playing against the relegation-threatened teams at home. You can't be telling me he can't play in the Champions League group stages or the FA Cup games or the Carabao Cup games. I mean, I just think sometimes people you need to think like it's not how football works, man. You know what I mean? And I always say this because people with a good memory might say, LB, you're being contradictory. But I do sometimes say, I disagree with people when they say they don't fall off a cliff overnight, right? Because people say that when good players, and they turn bad and they say, good players don't fall off a cliff overnight. I actually disagree with that. I think good players can fall off a cliff overnight. Because if your game has any reliance at all on movement or pace, once you lose that, or once it drops slightly, boom, your whole game can just become super average. And you've seen that happen with Yaya Toure. You've seen it happen with Steven Gerrard. As soon as the pace goes off, not that Steven Gerrard and Yaya Toure were like mad quick off the line players, but as soon as they lose a slightly little bit of pace, they can go poor. Ilkay Gundogan is not a player that relies on any sort of pace whatsoever. Look at him this season. Fucking hell. I think even I could beat him in a fucking 20-yard sprint. Maybe not. But the point is, he doesn't rely on any pace at all. It's all up here. It's all up here. And Luka Modric proves the point. What's he now, 37? And he's still playing unreal football? Because he never relied on his pace. It's all about up here, and that's Ilkay Gundogan. So for me...
It's the footballing brain, isn't it?
Exactly. So for me, I just, in that situation, I just don't see what we're doing, you know?
Also, like, C1 there says not just a quality thing, it can be intensity as well. Look at David Silva 1920, but then like look at the fact of David Silva still playing football now.
And still slamming.
He's still going, man. Like, it's crazy. And I think as well, what you look at is something else. He's a part of the captain's team. He is our captain of the football club at this moment in time. Whether or not he stays in the captain's arm and goes to someone else. But I do think like you are losing a lot with Gundogan. It's not just what he puts on the pitch. I think it's dressing room wise. I feel like it's basically the players need to express what Pep Guardiola wants onto that football pitch, and Gundogan is the perfect example of that. He's a perfect example of translating what Pep says and what they do in training onto that football pitch. He makes us tick. He's so important to his side. Like hence why most of our starting 11s this season have had Gundogan. That's just the way it is. Now, I've seen someone in the chat before saying that Steve, I think they're on about Steve McInerney. He had a good a take on this basically of what if the club are basically keeping the pressure off Gundo and kind of like being like, oh yeah, he's not getting what he wants from our offer kind of thing. But Gundo has already said like, I just want to go. Do you know what I mean? Like he might have just said, yeah, I want to go Barca. I want to leave. It's time for me to change it up. So the club are keeping the pressure off him, getting the fans off his back because obviously, but that's all anyone would be talking about if it came out.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, but if Ilkay Gundogan came out tomorrow and be like, look, lads, City have offered me a contract, fair offer. Barcelona have offered me a contract. I'm 32, just had a baby. I've decided I want a change in my career. I'm going to go to Barcelona at the end of the season.
Fair,
you know what I'm doing? Thank you, Ilkay Gundogan, for everything you've done for my football club. I ain't going to start slagging the guy off. I ain't going to start giving him heat. I ain't going to affect my decision on who plays the next match. And I think any other City fan who has anything different than what I've just said needs to fucking give their head a wobble, man. This guy deserves utmost respect. And like I say, if he decides he wants to go, look, people want to change in life. I could fully understand why someone who's 32 and has just had a baby might think that Barcelona might be a nice little place to go for a few years rather than living in fucking Manchester. You know what I'm saying? It's nice right now, but in a couple of months it won't be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't know, man. I think that yeah, that tells me that maybe they don't understand the fans, because for me, I think that Dip Ace there says he's a City legend. Letting him go like this is disrespectful. Yeah, we should offer him the contract that he deserves. So yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm not saying it's not true what is that's theory, but for me, I think Manchester City should, if they do genuinely think that and go to it, they should just tell us. Do you know what I mean? And be like, yeah, I'm going at the end of the season, because, like I say, for me, anyone who has any other thing to say other than what I've just said, I think you got to question your loyalty to this club and the players. The players deserve our respect, man.
Yeah, and I don't think there should be anyone, even pre the past couple of games, I don't think there's anyone basically saying that Gundogan can go. I mean, like we've all been through times like that. I think in summer and that it's kind of like you're going, oh, we're getting to the point where Gundogan's going, but when he's performing like this week in week out, he's been so important this season that I think it's a massive mistake to let him go now. Joe Griffiths with the 2 says if Pep wants Gundo, why would Cheeky go against him? If Pep, but then this is what I mean, man. If Pep wants Gundo, yeah, and he's saying offer him that 2-year deal or give him what he wants. What? There's nothing to say that City. Oh, obviously there is, but then like, what if now City have done that?
Okay,
he's still not signed it.
Then fair dues. He wants to go to Barcelona. There's nothing
because apparently there's big Barca sources like good taste Barca sources apparently saying that he said yeah to Barca.
Yeah, so if that is the case, if we offered him what Barcelona have offered him, then it is what it is. Like in that situation, he wants to go. He wants to go to Barcelona, and as I just said, clap him off. Thank you very much for your service, absolute legend for everything you've done. Welcome back here anytime. Hope you're raising your new family goes well. See you later. Right? If that's not happened, then there's a couple of different things. One, Cheeky is a sporting director of his football club. He's the one who has to make the calls on this, and maybe he's just saying, I understand what you're saying, Pep, but we believe that it's not in the best interests of this football club to sign Gundogan on a 2-year contract. Therefore, we're only going to offer him a 1-year deal because we believe that getting Kovacic and Maddison in and replacing Gundogan with them 2 players is better for the football team. Ultimately, Cheeky wouldn't be doing his job right if he didn't do what he thought was best for the football club. So maybe that is the case. Look, it's difficult because I don't think we'll ever hear the truth until a contract has been signed with either Manchester City or Barcelona. Because if he is going to Barcelona, once that contract's signed, you can imagine a couple of weeks after the contract, Sam Lee or Jack Gordon, someone will come out and say Manchester City did offer him a 2-year contract. He just decided that it was best to move to Barcelona. And maybe Ilkay Gundogan, has said yes to Barcelona, and he doesn't really want to come out now and say I'm leaving because of everything we thought. He's the captain of this side.
Going on in this season,
yeah. He's captaining this side. He could look at it and go, I'm the captain of the side that's going for the treble. You know what I mean? Would it be really wise for me to come out now and say I'm leaving at the end of the season and going to Barcelona when he's the captain going for the? He might just think that's not right, and I could understand that to a certain degree.
But also, he's potentially about to play his last home game for the football club next weekend or this weekend.
Very true. Very true. Keep your eyes on him after the game.
Could we potentially hear something this week? Do you know what I mean? Basically, to say, look, this is Gundo's last game at the home game. If he lifts that trophy this weekend, then obviously that's like a sentimental thing. That so he might want the decision to be publicly known by the time it gets to this weekend. That's the way I think about it, because if he doesn't do it there, Champions League final's not at home. No, we've got no more home games.
Yeah. So if he wants one of them speeches,
if he wants to do something after the match or anything like that, then that's the one time to do it now.
But unless he's sacrificing that, bro, and going, I would like that. However, I don't want to. He might feel that doing that could impact the rest of the season. The FA Cup final.
Yeah, because it takes the narrative away, doesn't it? And it makes it about him rather than about the team. And
you know what you could see, bro, is if City get beat on Wednesday, I think the chances of him coming out before the Chelsea game saying I'm going to Barcelona increase, because then I think if we've got just the FA Cup, right? So we get knocked out against Real Madrid, right? We beat Chelsea at the weekend, we win the league, and then we've only got the FA Cup. I feel like it wouldn't surprise me if he come out on Thursday or Friday and said, I'm leaving, I'm going Barcelona. We win the league on Saturday or Sunday, sorry. He lifts the trophy, does his speech afterwards, boom, FA Cup, see you later. I think if you've got that Champions League game as well, I just think that's too much for me. And I think that may be why he's not coming out and saying he's going to Barcelona. Like I say, that's if he has already agreed to go to Barcelona, which, there's a lot of sources that say he has agreed to it, but until it's actually signed, we won't know. The only other thing that I would say is, if he was going to stay, there's 2-3 weeks left of the season. You would have imagined that he would have already signed the contract. Well, I mean, if City have offered him that 2-year contract and he genuinely wanted to stay, then he would have signed it. He wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think he. Why would he be waiting? What's he waiting for?
There's literally nothing to wait for.
So,
Surely it's more of like a morale boost to have the contract signed, to know that then fighting for the club kind of thing, rather than fighting for your last days at the club. It's a weird one. Prestino with the 30 months. Yes, Prestino, mate. What a profile present his digital style. Whether or not Ilkay does leave, we've got to give him a massive thanks and or plead to stay against Chelsea. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
He'll get massive applause at that game, regardless. End of the day, if we beat Chelsea at the weekend, which we have a massive chance of doing, we lift the Premier League. We lift the Premier League this weekend, which is wild to think. It's actually crazy. And if Arsenal now would just implode in the Prem because of what's gone on, which I mean, you can't write it off against Forest. We could have won the league before we even kick a football.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a crazy weekend, man. It's gonna be a crazy weekend. Fahad with 729. What about City side? What's wrong about 1 year plus?
So
no, because there he doesn't have longevity or like a surety. He's just had a kid. He's gonna want like basically safety of a longer contract. So
yeah, he's just had a child. He don't want to be in a situation where he's moving. He signs a 1 year deal and then has to move next year, and
his kid's settled in for a year. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like I think he wants to go somewhere, say like Barcelona, where he can settle with a kid and just go forward from there, like, and not have to move about. And he doesn't want to find himself in this position after a year, not knowing whether he's staying or going again.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is fair dues, and that's what I said at the start of this stream. Like I say, I can fully understand why he wants to make that move to Barcelona. For me, it's just if some of the rumours that are coming out are true, and that he does want to stay at Manchester City, but he'll only stay if we're giving him a 2 year deal. I think that's poor from the club if they're not giving him a 2 year contract, But if City only offered him a 1 year and he wants a 2 year, no problem. Completely understand why he'd want to move. You know what I mean? I'd probably move if I was him. If I just had a kid and City were offering me a 1 year deal, or I've got a 2 year deal from Barcelona.
It makes sense.
I probably would go to Barcelona. You know what I mean? They're offering big cash. You're playing Barcelona. You know what I mean? So you're raising your kid in Barcelona. I can understand the attraction of it. So, yeah.
I agree. TSM on G Fuel the 3 months said Haaland is the goal. Haaland is sick. Good seeing him get a goal yesterday after he's been missing all his chances. So he's back on the score sheets.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a comment from RR, which is sort of what I mentioned before about Tiki, is the only things we can do is trust our administration who decide these things. They've got most of the decisions correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's what I said about someone said before, why would Cheeky go up over? Like, why would he disagree with Pep? Well, his job is to make those calls, and he's not always going to agree with Pep Guardiola. They have a great relationship, right? They all do. I think sometimes people mistake that from they're all just sitting in the room, just all agreeing with each other. No. That's not how great relationships work. Great relationships don't work where 4 or 5 guys in a boardroom all sit down together and all lick each other's asses and say, yeah, you're right. We'll all agree with each other. No, that's not how things work. What a good relationship is where one board member can say to another board member, I think you might be wrong, and this is why I think you're wrong. And then the other board member, not flipping his lid and going, why the fuck are you saying that to me? Going, okay, I understand that point of view. This is my point of view. Try and have a good debate about it, and then someone's got to make the call. But then when that call's made, everyone in that room, all the board members, all agree that is the decision that's been taken.
That's the way to go, yeah.
No one's fucking moaning about it going forward. That's how good businesses work, and that's what Pep Guardiola and Tiki and Ferran will be doing. I do think sometimes that some people get it twisted, and that a good relationship is where they all agree with each other. No. That's not a good relationship. That's so good as mates, but as a business point of view, that's terrible. That's terrible. You need people debating, and you need people.
You need to challenge the norm, or else you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to stagnate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Prestino sums it up nicely there. Absolutely. Spot on. So, yeah, I mean, look, to tell you the truth, I think this guy's going.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, I just think that.
I just thought what it'd be signed, bro. There'd be no. It also would have like some form of some form of leak or like news pointing towards Gundo staying. Everything pointing towards him leaving.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's gone, unfortunately. But look, for me, Maddison and Kovacic, which I think is what will end up happening if Gundogan does leave. I think that's an improvement to the squad. I don't think either player are as good as Ilkay Gundogan, but I think Maddison is better going forward than Ilkay Gundogan, better at creating chances than Ilkay Gundogan. And he'll probably score more and create more than Ilkay Gundogan, but he's not got the pause that Gundogan's got. He's not got the experience that Gundogan's got. He's not good enough defensively compared to Gundogan. Kovacic is just like a poor version of Gundogan. That's the truth. He's just a poor version of Gundogan. But having them two, it improves the depth of the team. Yeah, okay, you're losing the quality of Gundogan. Neither of them was good as Gundogan. I accept that, but you are improving the depth of the team. So I don't think it's the worst situation in the world if we do get both of them two. However, my preference would be to keep Gundogan and probably sign Maddison. I think that would be mega. I think that would be sick.
Yeah, keeping Gundogan, signing Maddison, that'd be mint. That, and I'll keeping Bernardo Silva as well, and that'd be sick. That'd be sick. But obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see. I like the fact of having Maddison, especially if Bernardo does leave. I think because Maddison can play on the wing like Bernardo has been doing this year. Like that helps. Pep loves a versatile player. But yeah, I just think that's it. But I don't know. I don't know where we go with this. I don't know where we go with this. This midfield search, like it's baffling, man. It's baffling, man. Like
wait for that domino, bro. Wait for that domino.
Yeah,
as soon as it goes,
we're getting nothing in it. We're getting nothing right now, in it. We're getting teased with absolutely nothing, bro. We're just dry out here.
Yeah, exactly. Look, you can see this quote from Guardiola on Gundogan's future. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Maybe he stays, hopefully. So Guardiola clearly wants him to stay. Clearly wants him to stay. But City need to give him the deal that he wants. And even if we do give him the deal, there's no guarantee that he will stay. Maybe he'll want to go to Barcelona. So look, at the end of the day, it's one of them. I mean, this happens in football. I'm pretty sure we would have had exactly the same conversation about David Silva. When he was going, why is City not giving him a contract that he wants? Why are we letting him leave? We've been fine since he's gone. We've lost big players in the past. Vincent Kompany, Joe Hart, Fernandinho, Aguero, David Silva. This is part of the game, guys. It's part of the game. You got to take the rough with the smooth. Gundogan will move on. We'll bring someone else in, and we will still be a successful club. At the time when it's happening, everyone panics. I remember thinking right back in the day when Gundogan was leaving. I thought when he leaves, we will be shit. We will never win anything again. Just because that's how I felt about him as our football club. He left and we were still mint. And from that day forward, I've never really thought the same thing again. When David Silva left, I was gutted. I was moving, straight away, like we're going to continue to rock it. Because that's just not how football works.
It's a revolving door, isn't it? Players come, players go. That's just football. It's unfortunate because you wish players were eternal, innit? I wish players were eternal, man. If David Silva was eternal, Kompany was eternal, that'd be sick. But it's not a thing, man. Players get old, players move on. That's just the way that football is. You just got to respect their decision and hope that they'll give all the whole for your football club, and that's what players like that we're mentioning, like Gundo, have done that.
Yeah, this is a mad comment. This is a mad comment. Please tell me. Please tell me that's not about Gundogan. Please tell me that's someone else. That's
got to be someone else, bro.
That's a bait comment. Kovacic does not touch Ilkay Gundogan. Let me tell you that.
Oh wait, he's done another one, bro. He's not baiting. Gundogan is overrated, bro. He's on a purple patch. Pep system makes him look good. Bro, have you watched football for the past 5 years? That's
a terrible opinion, my friend. That is a terrible opinion, mate. This guy's won us multiple league titles. Multiple.
Guy turned into a CDM for half a year to fill in for Fernandinho when he got injured. Mate, Eagle, you've had an absolute shocker.
Terrible opinion.
You've been too much MMA, mate. Them head punches have got you fucked up, lad.
Yeah, not good. Not good. But yeah, there you go, guys. Ilkay Gundogan, City making a huge mistake here. Or as some people are suggesting, maybe City not making a mistake. Maybe City doing everything they can to keep him, and he's just decided that he wants to go to Barcelona. Like I said, I don't think we're going to find out until after the season ends. However, if we do get knocked out off Real Madrid, it really would not surprise me if we found out before Chelsea, so we can have that good send-off. But yeah, look, it's going to be a madness. The thing is for him now, he's going to be focusing fully on this season because he's got the chance to write his name into Manchester City history. He could be the captain. That captains the side to the treble, captains the side to the first ever three-peat, captains the side to the first ever Champions League. Like, he could be the guy, man. He's going to be the guy that in 50 years,
be him, isn't it?
Yeah, in 50 years, when you're speaking about City's first ever Champions League win, he was the captain, Ilkay Gundogan. All right, yeah. So City won the three-peat. He was the captain, Ilkay Gundogan. The treble, Ilkay Gundogan. He has the chance to write his name into the walls of the Etihad, man. And so he's going to be focused 100% on the season. He really, really is. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what comes out. Like I say, I think it's going to be a domino effect. As soon as we hear what happens with Gundogan, boom, I think that the shit will start moving the station. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Anything else before we wrap up here with the Ilkay Gundogan situation?
I got no idea. I've not seen nothing today.
No,
absolutely nothing. I rolled out of bed onto this stream.
Yeah, I think it's been slightly quiet this morning. Yeah, a little bit of stuff there's some confusion about the Champions League, not the Champions League, the Premier League trophy. If City beat Chelsea, or if Arsenal get beat off Forest, 100% City will get the Premier League trophy presentation at the Etihad after the Chelsea game, because that's the rule. If you've won the league, you get the league on the last home game, but you only get it if you've technically won it. So even if we've got a plus 50 goal difference, unless you've technically won the league, they won't give it. So we need Arsenal to get beat off Forest or City to beat Chelsea, and then we'll get the Premier League title. So.
And also, we have kit release this week.
Yeah,
Friday. We get the new home kits. Well, excited.
So is it actually on sale on Friday, or is it?
Yeah. That's when it released. Oh wait, I don't actually know. I guess so, because what would be the point in just showing it?
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are there.
I reckon they'll probably do so, but we always have our thingy, don't we? Our kit reviews on the channel, so you'll see that at some point. Whenever we can get it, you'll see our review of it. Excited for it though. I'm excited for a new kit.
Yeah, no.
There you go. Release and sale on Friday.
Yo, that's, you know what that smells like, bro? It smells like a giveaway.
Oh, it does smell like a giveaway. Maybe you're tuning on Friday. Make sure you subscribe and that. We'll do a giveaway. We'll do our kit review. We'll do a giveaway on the kit review.
This Friday, giveaway season, man. Big up Fraudson, man, says we need young blood. Can't replace both KDB and Gundogan together. That will be a significant drop-off. This is better. Gradual changes. People are scared to let go. That's a very fair comment. That is a very fair comment. Yeah, and that is true. That is true. You don't really want to be replacing Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan in the same season. So yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. And some people are like that. You know what I mean? Ready to move on. Some people, I think that we should give him a 2-year contract, but I fully understand why some people might be like, I think it's probably best to let him go and get some fresh young blood in. So yeah, there we go. Right, people, hopefully you enjoyed that. A little bit of an update on Ilkay Gundogan. Hopefully, you got your own opinions, whether you want him to stay, whether you want him a 1 year, 2 year, or whether you think it's time for him to move on. If you're watching this back on replay, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you guys drop a like on the stream, man. We're 4 likes away from 200 in it. So hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you've not already done so. Just helps grow the channel. And big up to the guys at BetVictor. They've sponsored today's video. They've got their own video up on their YouTube channel. You can go check that out. They're speaking a lot about Pochettino to Chelsea. I'll leave you with the clip again for people that missed it. You can go and check it out. The link's in the description. Let them know that City Xtra sent you in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to their channel and like the video. We'll see you later on. See you in a bit.
Chelsea obviously spent huge amounts of money, complete mess. If they get Pochettino or another manager who can manage that squad, can any of you see them making a title challenge next season, Paul?
No, not at all. Pochettino's just, I get it, because he's a good manager, and if Chelsea weren't a London-based club, and also one that had actually liked football managers, I think he'd have a good time there, because he's capable of taking what they've got and making more of it. But he's another guy. It's a bit like, they've done this before and they'll do it again. It's like they'll fall out with him, because if he has a sticky run of results, all of a sudden all those jibes and all the barbs that they sent your way about how little trophies he won and blah 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 will all just come back, and that'll be eaten away at them from day one the second they lose a couple of games. So I think Chelsea can come back. I think they can come back really strong, because look, there's got to be 22 good players in all of what they've got there. You know what I mean? They definitely need to shed a bit. Like, underneath that, you get to the gym, do a weight cut. Underneath there's a 6-pack waiting to come out. But at the moment, it feels it's all very It's all very flabby, isn't it, at Chelsea at the moment?
It's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Yeah, and I can relate. As a middle-aged man, I can relate to that.
Same.
But they're going to go one of two ways, I think. I think that club's absolutely going to implode, worse than it's done this season, and find itself in documentary territory of how badly run it's been, or they'll just go back to being a top four side with the right manager. I don't think it's possible.